So in this video, we want to talk about how to use Portfolio to store images in a library for you to access when you want to create content for your email messages. One important concept for creating an email is the idea of content. The content area is available from the overview screen or from the top-level navigation in the email channel. So select Content and then drop down until you see Portfolio. Portfolio is something you can think of like a library. It's a file folder which has additional folders that allows you to store content of various types. Portfolio is not a place that you can pull content directly from for an email. It's more like a workspace for you to add images, documents, text content, and various other things that you import into the marketing cloud that you will then use later to create content that you will store within My Contents. So just think about Portfolio as a place where you can put stuff that you might want to use to create content that you will include in emails. Within Portfolio, you can include content of all kinds. You can include images, text, documents, PDFs, videos, and a variety of other types of content. The main issue is file size. So there are various file sizes that are maximums for use in storing any kind of information in Portfolio. And you can see the limits for those particular types of files if you go to the help documentation. For now, let's look at the Portfolio workspace itself. Within the Marketing Cloud, there are two types of folders. There are either local folders, which are available for you and anyone else who has access to your business unit. And then there are shared folders. Within the shared folders, anyone in the ASU account can access information that's stored in a shared folder. So Portfolio is like those kinds of folders. Portfolio itself is a local folder for you and everyone else within your business unit. But there's also a shared version of Portfolio, as you'll see here, that you can use to store information that others within the Arizona State University account can access. In the shared Portfolio, we keep information like the logos folder. So if you need an Arizona State University logo, all you have to do is go to the shared Portfolio logos folder to pick the one you want to use. So as an example, when you go to the logos folder and you hover over the various logo names, you can see the one that you might want to select for use within an email. So for now, let's go back to the local Portfolio folder, which is available to everyone within your business unit. And remember that we're in the Marketing Academy business unit, so everyone who has access to the Marketing Academy, which would be all other Marketing Cloud users, can use content that's stored here in the Portfolio folder. Just like with any other folder in the Marketing Cloud, you can right-click and create subfolders if it helps you organize content. You'll see that we have an Email 101 folder that we use for storing content for the Email 101 class and other folders that we have for various purposes. Let's use the Email 101 folder for this particular example. There are two ways to add assets to the Portfolio. The first method is drag and drop, and the second method is browse to add. To drag and drop, we minimize the Marketing Cloud over here on the left side of the screen, and then we open the desktop on the right. All you have to do to drag and drop is go to the file you want to import, grab it, and then drag it and drop it onto the desktop. In this case, we're adding an image of the core building. You can see that it imported correctly because we have a green bar and we have a check mark indicating success. The second way you can add a file to Portfolio is browse to add. When you browse to add something to Portfolio, you can go to a URL on a web page, or you can add it from a file. So let's click from File, and we're going to go back to our desktop. In this case, we're going to add an image from Old Main. So we click on the file and click open. And then the import procedure completes as normal. You get a green bar and a check mark. If you're trying to import a file and you get a red bar and an X and the import fails, you'll get a message that gives you a resolve link and asks you to resolve the import error. Most often, a failure to import occurs for one of two reasons. The file is too large for the particular type of file it is, and that will be one of the reasons. In that case, for an image, for instance, the maximum file size is 200 kilobytes. So if you try to import a file, this one is 59.2 kilobytes, so it's fine. But if you try to import an image that's larger than 200 kilobytes and it fails, you'll have to go back and change the size of the file through Photoshop or some other editing tool and then re-import the smaller file. The other main cause of import failures is the file name has characters that are not acceptable. So if you get that type of failure, you'll have a chance on the resolve link error to change the name of the file, to rename it to something that does not cause problems. There's also one other type of error. Sometimes you'll try to import a file that someone else has already imported into Portfolio, and you'll get a message that that file or that file name already exists. And again, to complete the import, you can change the name of the file. So now that we've imported these two items into Portfolio, let's close the Add menu. After you've uploaded Portfolio items, you should get a success message, and then you'll see the items you've imported. You'll see the size. There's a thumbnail that shows you what it looks like, and you have other information about the portfolio. You'll notice that within this screen, you can look at items either by thumbnails, if you click on this button, or in list view, which we were on previously. If you have a lot of items in your portfolio folder, you can also look at items by type. So in this case, we're looking at all items, which is the default, or you can search for an item if you happen to know the name of it. You also have options to delete and move items from one folder to another by clicking on the checkbox and then choosing the appropriate button.